Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com and today I am back with my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit so that we can experiment with some wonderful embellishment clusters and just have some fun putting together some of these scraps and cut aparts from the paper pad and use some of the elements from my kit. As you can see here, we've got all sorts of stuff, and I just thought it'd be fun to do some real-time embellishment cluster making today because why not? And I think we're going to keep it simple. Again, I have this sort of scrap slash cut apart piece that I think we'll chop into and start layering and working with, and I'm excited to see how it goes and to have fun with it because these are some of my favorite colors from one of my favorite paper pads, and to incorporate some other elements as well. So we got the washi tape bin out, we've got our sticker book and our embellishments from our kit. But I think we're just going to get started right with this cut apart sheet. And I think for this specific one, and I've done other videos about embellishment clusters before, so if you haven't seen those, definitely check them out on my channel. I'm going to keep them simple today. I think sometimes everyone thinks about overdoing it, and you really don't need to. And what's nice about working with something like this is it gives you a big starting point with lots of options. So even just with this little piece I cut off here, there's technically 4 pieces, but it doesn't have to be 4. You can keep some together, you can cut some apart. And I'm only cutting them with my trimmer because I do not cut well with scissors, which I know is not an exact crafting trait. Probably should work on is cutting straight with scissors, but some people have it, some people don't, and I'm one of the people that does not. So let me line this up and trim this off. So we have this big banner piece. I think this is a bit larger for an embellishment cluster than I would ever do for my particular pages, so I'm going to set that one aside. More of just an embellishment for a page that might work. And I do apologize if you can hear the construction. A lot of things happening in the apartments around me. But I wanted to do a real-time video because I know you guys love them so much, as well as the Patreon folks who love them too. So if you guys haven't checked out Patreon lately, definitely check them out. The link down below, because that is where I post weekly vlogs about what's going on and the happenings. And even with just these 3 elements here. So we have one that's like a checkerboard of different letters, some sideways, some upside down, so no like rhyme or reason. This one says bloom where you are planted with this tape and staple accent, and then this yellow grid. Even just these 3 things layered up like this is the start of an embellishment cluster. And let me hold this up close so you guys can see it. Now with my embellishment clusters, what I like to do is have a lot of texture and dimension. So I wouldn't just use these paper pieces. However, you totally can. If you're looking for more of a flat look, whether it be for a traveler's notebook or something that needs to have a little bit less, I could either go back here, find some more. I can add foam to make some of this dimensional. I of course have stickers and things over here. So I think I'm gonna go look through and see if there's anything that catches my eye. I was going to look at these Heidi Swap stickers to see if there's anything in here. Now, like I said, there's pretty much any color can be added to this since we're just working with that yellow and then some black and white. So I could even add in this piece, for example. I probably won't keep this, so I'm going to plan on putting that back. But like if I wanted it to be a journaling piece, layer this in. I'd probably layer it in over here, something like that. So you do have that quad layer, and again I'll bring this up close so you guys can see it. So that gives you like a small place to like put a date or a tiny bit of journaling if that's what you wish. Maybe put an actual staple where the staple is, and that could be a simple cluster. Let's see what else we have. I'm gonna put that one back. That's a good label. I don't want to use it for, you know, halfway under something when I could actually use the whole thing. I totally could incorporate some of these ones with more words. I know a lot of times clusters often contain words, so like this one already has some words, so like phrase stickers might not be the best option. Then we also have things like my washi book here. There's probably a washi tape in here that could work. Just gotta pull it out of the packaging. It's been a while since I've seen these supplies, so I want to flip through here, see what we've got. This polka dot could work, and again across maybe the yellow stripe. More words you can include. Again, we can add in more colors, so I could go for like this gray blue. We could go for this blue polka dot. Let me move this up for you guys. This text print would actually be really cool, although we do already have a sort of text print with that black element square there. I almost like this blue. Now with washi tape you have to be careful because if you're putting washi tape onto a colored surface, it may distort the color. So you do want to keep that in mind when you are thinking about this process. And I know that you guys always wonder when I do make my embellishment clusters like I am today, what I do with them, how do I store them, when do I use them. Most oftentimes I like to keep them with the kit they're made from. That's why I like to make kit embellishments like this, so that there aren't just random pieces put together that I might not have anywhere else in my stash. or have that color anywhere else in my stash. I am sort of auditioning this piece here because I think it'd look pretty. And I really like the contrast between this bright floral and then the black and white floral on here. So I'm going to grab a piece of this. I think I'm just going to go for a straight cut, not a tear. And I'm going to measure it a little bit. Just guesstimate. I'm just going to grab a small strip of it. It's very beautiful. And I like that, again, the contrast between this, which is a bright floral with lots of color, compared to the black and white floral on that top piece. So if I pair those together right there like that, very pretty. Again, accents a lot of the yellow, but a touch of pink, green, and blue now added. And again, I liked these very offset. And where could I picture using this on a layout? Great for pocket pages. This would fit a 3x4 card, or it would fit a 4x6 very nicely as just a filler element on top of a photo where there's blank space. Lots of options. Let's see what else we have. We got some puffy stickers. I'm going to go through the sticker book. It's been a long time since I've looked through my sticker book, but I know this one doesn't have too much left in it. So I am curious if we can power through and use some more of it. Like even this black and white check banner we could totally use. And let me move this up again so there's more visible space. I really like the idea of using one of these swans, except for the pink bill. It's much different than the pink in the actual floral there. However, I do wonder if I don't rip this to pieces by accident, if I could use an actual floral here to, again, bring in that pink. Luckily, they're similar pinks, even though they're not the same brand or same stylist, same designer. Stylist will work too, I guess. I kind of like that pop of pink, but it does make it a pink dominated piece at that point. So you want to keep that in mind as you're picking and choosing. This little bumblebee could be cute too. I'll leave him out. We'll put him right there. We might use him. And really, it's just about layering, and not all your layers need to be fully visible, which I know is really hard for some people because you do have these beautiful elements and you want them to have their own spot in the spotlight, and it can be really hard to sort of balance that out with what goes underneath the layer and what should be on top. So be sure to give yourself some grace when you're doing this if you aren't finding it to be easy, or if you're finding it to be too much going on. You don't have to have insane embellishment clusters for them to work for your style. So if it's just a couple layers, that's great. And that's sometimes all you need anyhow. So hopefully that gives you guys some words of encouragement to go ahead and make some embellishment clusters. And again, I like to work my embellishment clusters in my kit. So if I make these here at the beginning of the month, I can use them throughout the month with my coordinating kit. So it works really, really well if you work like I do with similar supplies, and just go with the flow with that. There are some phrase stickers in the sticker book as well, as you can see as I flip through. I think this is plenty of wordage, especially if you don't know what type of page this is going on. Sometimes when I pull out a kit, I know that I'm doing just cruise photos, just XYZ photos, so I can always keep that in mind. And if this were a kit where I had that wonderful luxury of knowing what I was going to scrapbook about, then I would totally do that and pull in some phrase stickers or put on words that did fit the theme. Since I don't know, we're just winging it and just flipping through to see if there's anything color-wise that catches our eye, and just trying to keep it generic. And what I mean by generic is working for multiple pages. If you're someone who doesn't do the unrealistic photo embellishing, so you won't put a beaver on a picture of your daughter, or, you know, there's no like connection there, where some people like the animals, they like putting in whatever thematic elements are in that collection, you know, with like Maggie Holmes Carousel, there were all those things for, you know, carnival rides, and, you know, you had the little carousel, that's hence the name of the collection. You have the carousels and all the animals that go with it. So some people enjoy that and using that on all types of layouts, but if you're not that person, don't make embellishment clusters with those types of items if you don't plan on using those. So since I don't have a particular theme, I'm just going on through and looking for matches. We do have some empty pages in this sticker book, which I have to say do make me very, very happy. One left there. I need to remember to use that. I could probably use that up today. Labels are definitely something great to add to embellishment clusters because it guarantees you to include something that you'll probably need on the layout, which is a spot to either journal, or a spot to put the date, or a spot to put a tidbit of something. So labels are something big for me that I like to use and to keep in mind. I am still debating if I like this flower there. I think I do because it's a similar flower illustration to here, just the, you know, non-black and white version, so the colorized version. And to be honest, I don't think I want to add too much else. I think that something that people often make mistakes with embellishment clusters, at least in the way I functionally use them, is they make them too much at first. So like adding in wood veneer now could be fun, but adding in phrase stickers, adding in nouveau drops, whatever it may be, I like to wait so that when I put it on a layout or on a project, I can implement those things after. So this is just about me creating starting bases for sets of embellishments that I can then use on layouts. So I really like how this one's turning out. I do wish I had like some clear stickers, like some clear, I don't know, maybe not even gold, but just some clear stickers to layer here. And I do wonder if I should try to staple this. To be honest, I haven't unpacked my tiny attacher yet, so that would have to be long in the distance because I'm really not sure where I would have packed that. You would think a stapler would be hard to lose, but if you have met me, then you would also agree that a stapler can be very easy to lose. So while I don't have that, I'm just going to tack it down with my ATG gun in place. Again, very, very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be a lot, and you can make it work for you. And this has my cat's hair all over it because, of course, they love to be where they shouldn't, which includes the craft desk and craft chair. And again, I really like that offset look, so that's what I'm going with here. And I am covering up the greenery on that rose because it does not match, and I find it to be a very difficult green to match with in the past when I've worked with Maggie Holmes. So just a tiny little card with some embellishments and some washi tape, and that's it. And this can be smack dab onto a layout. So I'm gonna leave that one up there so you guys can take that in. But we have more we can work on. So let's go back to the same starter piece here and pick out something else and do something else. So we're gonna do more sticker based this time, less card stock based. So I'm going to pick maybe, let's see, what color? Which one? This Botanical Garden one's really pretty. I think I would just use that as a natural embellishment rather than an embellishment cluster. So I'm thinking this little ticket down here, this green ticket. And I am going to trim it out with my trimmer because, again, and yes, this bee will probably stay here for way too long and I'll forget about him, but he's okay for now. So I'm going to trim out that guy, this little green ticket down here. And we're going to use a lot of the stickers, hopefully, to make it work into a nice embellishment cluster. And then we'll have to hand trim because it's getting a little close on the cuts. There's no straight through cuts on these full length pieces. And you also find that sometimes they don't print great, so not all the print lines line up between all the elements, but that's okay. You can always just trim them down. So I'll probably trim this again because I did just cut that crooked, and trim this down again because I also cut it crooked. And this will be a common theme among all of my embellishments that I have to hand cut. I can't remember if I hand cut this side or not. That side's pretty, well, no it's not. I saw that tail end that just whipped out for no reason and went no longer straight. Okay, so we have this cute little green ticket, whatever it's actually supposed to be. I think it's like a call card for a product or something because it says warehouse. So we have this cute little mint ticket. Now if we go back to our sticker book, we've got options, I am sure. Now if I recall, oh, that would be really, really pretty, wouldn't it? Okay, example number 1, adding another big element on top, expanding the shape. Look how pretty that green is with that mint green and that pink. I just think that is so darling. I don't know why, but I really like those colors together. So that's an option. We can consider that. We also have, let's see, I know there's some boxes in here somewhere. Let me again pull this up for you guys to see. There are some like planner shaped stickers in here. This is a good color match. Again, same brand and designer, so that's bound to happen and be really simple that way. But sometimes it's not, and I've done other videos about that. You guys can check those out on my channel. There are a lot of words on here, but this is a perfect time to cover up the ones that don't matter. So like these ones, to think of you is to smile, I could put right there and cover that up because I don't need to know an aisle or a bin number by any means for any of my layouts. But I also know that those are some generic words, aisle and bin, versus, you know, every day you make me smile, it's a bit more on the nose about being part of, you know, about someone else or something else. So these are the planner stickers I was thinking about. I really like this off-white one, but I don't like that this illustration style is these, you know, impressionist, and this one's more realistic. So I'm gonna put this one back, but I know we have more to choose from. So we've got options, no need to fret. I also really like this number 7 because it has the matching color, as well as the 4. Because I don't ever know what to do with the numbers. Great way to use up leftover numbers and letters from stickers, or probably to include them on these kind of clusters. I haven't done that personally, but I just thought of it, and it's kind of a nice idea, and maybe we should try that. Something like this could be included. So this is from the heart. You don't even have to include the words if you don't want to. Try to put it back. And then this one, remember this day. I don't mean to peel that one up anymore. Wish they would go back easily. Could just layer it either beneath it, or you can cut it in half and put a piece on top and then a piece on bottom. It is a bit harder with stickers versus paper, and I've talked about this a lot with my patrons over on Patreon and illusion cuts, and I do think I'm going to make a mini class about illusion cuts sometime soon over on Patreon, so if you're interested, be sure to check it out, link down below. I've already talked about labels. One thing I hate is clear sticker labels, because what am I supposed to do when it is a slick surface? I'm thinking I'm going to layer. I like that it'll say warehouse still, but be a little bit frosted. And we're not going to put it on crooked. No, we're not. Maybe we are. Maybe that's it. Maybe I did it. Okay. We got redeemed. I need to bring it closer to myself so I can see if it's straight or not. Okay, once you have it on there, I like that it has just a frosted look instead. And then layer my little flower. Oh yeah, that's really cute. And I like the additional contrast. And that's something you'll learn as you keep going and making embellishment clusters. So make sure you're keeping that in mind. Your style may change, your interests may change for what should be on them. Like I said, I like including labels because it often guarantees a spot on a layout where I can put X, Y, or Z. Now we could swap out this flower, put it right here, for one of these flowers. Now I've had a lot of issues using these flowers because they're not my traditional color scheme, and I never owned anything from the Gather collection except the chipboard. So if I pull one of these clear ones off, it might be a great fit as long as I don't ruin it. It could also be too much, and then you can peel it right off again. No, we can't. Okay, okay. Mistakes were made, and this is why I do these live, because I think it's more appreciated when you can see it happen to someone else. Okay, we put that one back. But again, good color scheme. I could layer it behind it on some white cardstock. A little bit more work, but I know that people like to use clear stickers that way, and it's always an option on your embellishment clusters as well. There we go. So we got options. We still got our flower over here, which we'll probably keep in mind because that's my favorite so far. This little Gather Memories would be great if this was a little bit bigger. So just making sure you keep in mind the ratios of elements you're bringing in. We could bring in the leaves and do some leaf layering. It is the exact same color though, so that's not a lot of contrast. And again, I love looking for the contrast, so that's something that I keep in mind when I'm working on my projects. So I could also bring in this little yellow flower, which could pair nicely with this pink flower. And there's something about pink, yellow, and mint that goes really well and is easier to use on some of my layouts because it screams spring, which again is something I'm working on for this particular kit this month. And it also, flowers are very easy to incorporate for me. No, they're not for everyone, so I think I gravitate towards those because it's indicative of my style and my general taste in my scrapbook layouts. Now, thinking about this cluster, again, you do not have to have complete clusters. So right now, if I had these two were complete and I were to use them on a layout, I would gravitate towards adding things on top of them, things that are from my page. So if I'm incorporating sequins, I would then incorporate sequins to the embellishment clusters. So keeping that in mind, that I particularly don't like to complete an embellishment cluster before I actually use it, is how I get to use them much more frequently because there's no committal to a full color or having to use wood veneer or having to use X, Y, or Z because it's not there. So on either of these, I've not added gold or silver. So I could add gold and silver stickers. These cute little hearts and stars would be great additions, but it will make that a sort of indicative choice when I have to go use it on the layout. So it really depends on how you work and function in terms of your scrapbooking style, but those are some of my tips for using your different products to make some adorable embellishment clusters. I could add in some puffy stickers, but these ones are really cat themed and I didn't want to dictate a theme to these quite yet. I could even add the little bee over here. I think he does need a home, so I think he'd be there to, again, contrast off these yellow pieces. But sometimes simple things like these types of embellishment clusters can be so rewarding to make. And again, just an introductory into your kit to get you happy about using those elements, and then to use the elements you made, like these DIY embellishment clusters, on the pages for that month. So I'm super excited to be working with How to Kill a Kit with Style this month and be back at making some projects with them. So these will probably be featured on either layouts or cards or other projects this month. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and having some fun with some embellishment clusters. Let me know if you want to see another round of this with the Maggie Holmes and kit materials. Again, we just used a little bit. It didn't take too much time to get these done. It would have been a lot faster if I wasn't talking through it all, but it's easy to do, and it's just a fun, like, rainy day activity if you don't want to get into a whole scrapbook layout or anything like that. And it's a great way to jump into a new kit or to a new collection when you don't know where to start. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And if you're interested in behind the scenes videos, definitely check out my Patreon, which will be linked down below, and we do weekly vlogs over there. But thanks again for watching. Be on the lookout for these embellishment clusters coming to pages sometime soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!